Hey everybody, TacticAngel here, back on the PlayStation 5. One of these days I'm going to fix that intro, but it's not today. Today we're just playing a little replay. We're going to be on straight. I know that I had said I really wanted to review the West Virginia this update. My plan was to have that out this weekend, and it's written up. But with all of the battleship goodness that's coming next update, I feel like it fits better there. So we're just going to play a game. I'm going to play a game in one of my favorite ships in the entire game. We're looking at the Munchen. And I'll put my commander up on the screen. We have Reinhard Scheer. Just a good-looking gentleman there. Of course, we're using this basically to increase our fire chance, to get a good deal of stealth out of this build, and to get a little bit more pew-pew. As you can see, we've got Mimbelli there as an inspiration. The other stuff here is going to help too, because we're going to need to get out of the way occasionally. In any case, we're rolling out towards the west side. You can kind of see things are already starting because, of course, we are blessed with an aircraft carrier in this game. And my inclination is usually to drive towards planes if I see one of my teammates being attacked by them, and I can get at least a little bit of my AA into the game. You can see we've clearly helped a little bit because we have shot down a plane. And with the excellent maneuverability of the Munchen, we are already pushing up on a destroyer from the middle position. Now that Hatsuharu looks like he has a trick up his sleeve, which is called a smoke screen. But I've already popped my trick, and sorry friend, that is just not gonna work. So starting quickly off, we managed to get the first blood, and now we're looking at, we got a couple of other ships over here. We got a Leander, which is plenty dangerous at this range because it has torpedoes. We also have an Atlanta, which also has torpedoes. In spite of being American, we have a we chance a really lucky shot to try to get some ordnance around that rock. Unfortunately, that island is a bit bigger than maybe I give it credit for. And at this point, we just need to back up because we've got this Leander coming in. We don't want to jump out in front of both of those guys, so we're backing up. You can also see that we've got some airplanes coming over here, which is not extraordinary. We start putting our shells into the back section of the Leander because I think we usually have a little bit more luck citadeling the back half of most cruisers. We managed to dodge thanks to our good maneuverability and, of course, the ever-present balanced and fair engine mod. That leaves us free to push around this towards the one remaining ship, the Atlanta. Now, as far as I can tell, the Atlanta hasn't fired its torpedoes yet, so we do want to be careful about that, maybe drive a little bit like a maniac. The Atlanta also has a really powerful set of 5-inch guns if you give it the opportunity. Now, I have a turtleback, so I feel pretty okay that he's not going to be farming too many citadels off of me. But I do want to present kind of a bounce angle here. Not an auto bounce, but at least a potential bounce angle. So I can roll bounces and shatters and then let my, what I think are superior 6-inch guns near about carry the day for me. Unfortunately, we're getting a lot of overpens, but thankfully he starts to angle, so we've switched over to HE because I don't think I can overpen his bow, and this will get us nice consistent damage with that 1/4 pen. We're in luck because he just shoots AP at me, and either he wasn't aiming high enough to get a lot of superstructure, or he was just getting unlucky there. In that case, he probably wanted to switch over to the HE. As you can see, we're now in the vicinity of more airplanes. They seem to really like attacking this side of the map. I might owe that to a certain amount of notoriety, but it's hard to say what motivates people, really. I don't use my plane yet, and I didn't use my plane before because using a fighter aircraft inside of 5 kilometers of an Atlanta is kind of like throwing that plane directly into the garbage. I didn't use it right there because he appeared to only have a couple of planes left in his strike group and no reason to waste the consumable if my planes aren't going to be able to actually shoot anything before his attack aircraft have started to leave the area. Now we are spotted in spite of being kind of in a good position to farm this California. You can see we have some torpedo bombers coming in. I let them get fairly close to me before dropping my airplane or launching my airplane. It seems to make a little bit more sense. And you know, we're already up to 5 planes. The Munchen is, like I said, easily one of my favorite ships in the game. It does not have stellar AA though, so the plane really helps and you do want to use it wisely. Now we have earned ourselves a high caliber, which is nice. We steer a little bit towards those dive bombers that are coming in. They're coming in on my side. I think he's probably going around to try to strike the battleship. Either way, moving a little bit to my starboard side is going to be a good idea because I'll get a little bit more of my AA into play. And if he does come at me, he's going to have to come at me from the side, which is not going to work really, really well when using dive bombers. We're still in pretty good shape here when we start this battle with a Nuremberg. Nuremberg is, of course, a very potent ship. It's armed with the same kind of guns that I have, but it's got one more of them, and it also has those fancy 360 turrets. Now, I'm not doing enough to kind of save myself on the hit points here. You can see that I'm kind of dealing with 2 different things. When you're playing against an aircraft carrier, you kind of hate to give up your ship just to not get hit by planes, but then at the same time, you also kind of hope not to take a bunch of damage because you're sailing in a straight line against another ship. Unfortunately, what we did there didn't really accomplish either one of those things very well. Honestly, probably just a little too confident with the AP there. We get our 8th airplane as we sail past the cap area. I am sailing past the cap area for 2 reasons, one of which is I'm having a pretty good game, and darn it, wouldn't it be great if we managed to kill somebody else. The other thing is that realistically, with 3,000 hit points and the carrier having a lot of interest in me, I'm probably not going to survive if I stay in the cap. So we're going to try to run him down. There you can see I presented about a 45-degree angle to his attack. Ideally, you could go further than that to try to minimize his chance of hitting you. 45 degrees seems to work pretty well in general. And that helped us to at least get the targeting ellipsis a little bit off of our ship. He manages to miss. We're being attacked again. This time it's more torpedo bombers.
What happened? Contact tactics, Mr. Ryan. You're turning into this torpedo. The captain closed the distance before it could arm itself.
Hey, thanks for the assist, Burt Mancuso. Buddy's absolutely right. We turned in the torpedo there to get inside of its arming distance, and that time it worked. So running up on this Ryujo, we're continuing to fire a variety of shells into the back half of him. Near as I can tell, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another, because I'm unlikely to score a Citadel on this thing from behind, and I'm pretty likely to bounce shots. On the other hand, the HE is really, really consistent, but it doesn't do a lot of damage, usually. Got one good hit in there, anyway. Now I'm kind of driving close enough to him because I really, really want to shoot the planes as they're coming off the deck. We have, unfortunately, traveled inside of secondary range. And though we get the final hit on him, we hand out probably what is my third or fourth close quarters ribbon to an enemy carrier by just getting a little bit too close and getting ourselves smoked there at the end of the game. Still, we come away with a pretty solid amount of experience and obviously a pretty big amount of credits that you saw there on the last screen. But unfortunately, not quite 1 million credits after taxes. So that's sad. Now, the thing about making money in World Boats is usually you want to try to save these boosters so that you're using them on the ships that are going to make you the most money. Usually when people are looking for a premium ship, I tell them to pick a ship they think they can do consistently well in, because for the most part, they're going to make the same amount of money just based on whatever your base XP. So whatever ship you can get the most base XP in is probably the best ship for you to have. Then throw on these credit boosters pretty much just on premium ships, and this is kind of how I like to farm money. Munchen is one of my favorite little money makers because, of course, I usually play it well, except when I don't. In any case, I hope this was a fun little replay. I will have the West Virginia review out next update once I can compare it to the new battleships. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.